So there are some additional theorems for proving congruence in right triangles, but they are really the same as the ones we already learned, and I'm going to prove that to you. All right, the first one is leg-leg or LL theorem. Okay, and it says if the legs of two right triangles are congruent, then the triangles are congruent. So let's see what that looks like. All right, so right here we have two right triangles, and we want to use leg-leg or LL theorem. Okay, leg-leg. We know that in a right triangle, the legs are the sides that are not across from the right angle. Okay, so if you go across from the right angle, that's your hypotenuse. And the legs are the ones that are surrounding the right angle. They are not the hypotenuse. So if we make two legs congruent, I can make this two pairs of legs. I can make this congruent to this, and this right here congruent to this right here. Okay, so now we have leg, 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 leg. All right, but these are both right triangles. So really, these are congruent by side, angle, side, side, angle, side. The angle is in between the two congruent sides. So leg, leg is actually just the same as side, angle, side. The only thing is that the angle is a right angle, but it's the same thing. So that's why I would prefer not to have to learn an additional theorem and just use side, angle, side. All right, next one up is angle leg or the AL theorem. It says if an angle and a leg of a right triangle are congruent to an angle and a leg of a second right triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So let's see what happens if we do an angle and a leg on a right triangle. All right, so we're going to do an angle and a leg. We already have the right angle on the right triangles. If we do the angle right here, we can match this one with this one. And then do a leg. We can match this leg with this leg. And now we have angle, side, angle. Angle, side, angle. Okay, and what happens if we use a different leg, the other leg? So let's erase that leg and mark the other leg congruent. So we did this one, let's do this one now on the bottom. And now we just have angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side.
Good morning, Micah. Today is Monday, day C.
So this is, in this case, it will be AAS. Remember when the side is not in between the two angles, like here, it's not in between these two angles. It's going to be AAS. But at any rate, angle leg for the right triangle is going to be the same as either of these two. It's just that one of the angles is a right angle. So again, this right here is something we already learned. And finally, the last one for the right triangles is hypotenuse angle, or HA. Okay, if an angle and the hypotenuse of a right triangle are congruent to an angle and the hypotenuse of a second right triangle, then the triangles are congruent. So let's try HA and see what happens. All right, hypotenuse angle. In order to find the hypotenuse, you go across from your right angle. So I'm going to mark this hypotenuse, and over here congruent to this hypotenuse, and then we just pick one other angle. Okay, so let's make this angle congruent to that angle. Okay, and clearly we have angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. The side is not in between the two angles, so it's just angle, angle, side. All right, let's try the other angle. The hypotenuse is always the hypotenuse, okay? That doesn't change, but let's try another angle. Instead of this angle right here,
apologies to our period 1 teachers. Can I have...
Instead of this angle right here, let me erase this and try the other angle. Okay, so instead of this angle, we're going to do hypotenuse angle with the other angle. So if we did this one right here and this one right here, it is still going to be angle, angle, side. angle, angle, side. The side is not in between the two angles. So either way, it's going to be angle, angle, side. So HA is really something we already learned. It's just that one of the angles is a right angle.